Okay, class. I need to do a quick tutorial on text editors. Okay, so basically, if you go to our computer science class, I've actually put the first assignment on there. And when you go there, it'll actually be at the bottom of the intro page. So after you've done these tutorials and you've tried to write a program, I assign a new one. And basically, this is the directions. This is what your program must do. At the end of that, I tell you I want you to save your file with last name dot first name dot assignment1 dot py. And once you've done that, you'll submit that into Google Classroom. So again, you should have Google Classroom basically as soon as you start typing Classroom, but that's the link. So if you see that, that'll just take you here. Okay. Now, how you're going to do that is you're going to actually upload your file. Now, that's kind of hard for some of you to figure out on your own, so I'm going to give you a quick walkthrough. So when we're using this emulator, okay, so let's pretend that this is what the program was. So I had to write this program that would print hello world. That's not your assignment, but this is an example. This will not allow me to submit to me. So this is actually not my web page. This is Trinket as a host web page that we're using, and I'm allowed to edit and create the course. And it's free, and we're all logged in, and it works great. However, it doesn't allow me to check your work. So for me to check your work, I need you to submit your assignments to me. So all these tutorials should lead you, if you know how to do all of them, to lead you to the capacity of doing your assignments. Once you've done your assignment, however, I need you to actually copy this and paste it into a text editor. Okay, so let's talk about the three options that I've got for you here. There's three different text editors we're going to use. The first one is the one that comes automatically installed in Windows. It's called Notepad. So even if you have never seen it before, if you just search in your Windows and start typing in Notepad, it'll pop up as one of your pre-installed programs. So basically, that will be installed on any Windows version ever created. Now, what if you look at it, if I open up Notepad, it's basically just a blank document. So you might have seen this before. You can type hi, you can type hello, whatever you want. However, it's just text. So this is like before Microsoft Word. This is what people used to write on. Now, if you wanted to do a Python file, though, notice what happens if well, let me just copy. I just copied my code. So here's my code. So now what do I do? Well, I can save this now, and I'll just save it to the desktop. Now, the directions said to save it as last name dot first name dot assignment1 .py. Now this .py is important. I'm going to show you. I'm actually going to do it without the py. And so you can see, here's what it looks like. Now here's the assignment. If you click properties, it's going to show that this is a text document. The ending is .txt. Endings are very important with file names. So this is what automatically tells computers exactly what it is. It doesn't matter what comes before it, it's what it ends in. And that's what determines what kind of file it is. And that means the computer knows to default what program to open it with. For example, anything that looks like this. This is an Adobe Acrobat file. It says PDF on it. Even though this was assignment number 13, if I look at its properties, so if I right click and then click properties, you see that it ends in .pdf. And that means that the computer automatically knows that this is a PDF document and to open it with Adobe Acrobat. All right. Well, what we want is we want it to open this with Python. Now, I've got Python installed. If you don't have Python installed, you're going to need to download that. So you won't be able to actually, if you want to download Python, you're going to just search for Python, and it's free. You can just go to python.org, and you can download the latest version. So if you don't download the old version, even though some of the stuff we did is going to be in 2.7, these are pretty much the same. There's just a little bit of small improvements here. So most code that you have already written in the old version will still run here. But there's some new things here that won't run in the old version. So install the latest version no matter what. Okay. So if you're using Windows XP, like your computer's super old, older than me, just kidding, you're going to need to download the old version of Python. It won't matter for this assignment or anything we're going to do over the summer. However, I always like to try to keep everything up to date. So I recommend the latest version. So let's go back to here. So if I correctly let me just add that .py. There's two things here. If I put .py, I can also, well, it won't really matter for this one because this is just a text editor, but I can just basically save it as any type. So this is not specifying as a text file. So I don't want to save it as a see, if I save it as a text document, it'll add a .txt on it. I don't want that. I want it to have the .py. And now when I do that, you see here's the same assignment. However, it's got this symbol. This is the computer telling me it recognizes this as a Python file. So this will actually work. Okay. However, you notice that even though this is a Python file, it doesn't actually highlight the code for me. It just still treats every character the same. Everything is black and white. That's actually kind of important. So that's why we don't like to use Notepad++, although you could. So if you're in a time crunch and you don't want to download one of these other software programs, then that's fine. So let me show you the two free alternatives. So there's Notepad++, which I started using a lot lately, but at the beginning of the year I was using Atom. These are both text editors. They're improvements on Notepad. And basically, let's start with Notepad++. If you look at Notepad++, it's a little bit cleaner. So here's the same thing, print hello world. However, it's still not recognizing it as a Python file. So this one, when you go to save it as, you're going to, let's do notepad++.py. So now that once I saved it as a .py, you see here it is, it changes it to Python file. And what's cool about that is that now it's starting to recognize my commands. So when I type something like import, and as soon as it turns into a recognizable command like import, and you can also see it's highlighting to me, do you want to finish that? If you just push tab, it'll finish that statement for you. So I can actually use this and it will automatically do this. So if you start doing stuff like define, it's already there. Or decode, well, that actually didn't work. But anyways, else, so things that are automatically Python languages that you're going to learn throughout the course will automatically be highlighted for you. So that's kind of nice. So if I accidentally did a capital P, it would not show up because that's incorrect. That's the incorrect way of writing print in Python. Okay, so that's Notepad++. It's a nice free download, and you can use that. The other option is Atom. So let's look at Atom. Exact same thing. It's going to be blank, and well, it won't be blank. It'll just be normal print, like normal text editing, until I actually save it as a Python file. So if I say print hello world, nothing happens. However, if I save it as a Python file, including the ending .py, it'll highlight it nice and clean. So let me just get and for some reason my computer is choosing this exact moment to slow down. Slowing it down with my microphone and my video, and this computer needs an upgrade. So let's just name this as sample.py. I've already done that before. Doesn't matter. I'll just replace it. So there's an example, and notice now it prints it. It changes the color. So again, just like Notepad++, it recognizes when you type a command that's Python, so it changes the color for you. It also does it with strings, so I kind of like that. So it does more. It changes the string. So, and you can see that if I don't have So if I don't close the string, it's showing me that this is all part of my string. So my code is basically going to wait for me to close the string. And I really like how it does this too. It shows you that. So there's a lot of little tricks it does for you. Okay, so another cool thing is that you can do this, and then you can move things up and down by just using the control and the plus sign. So instead of just copying and pasting, if you wanted to take this line and move it up, you can just move it up and move it down. So it's really cool in terms of using. It also shows you where you are in the file. So we're in the desktop, and it shows you all the files. So I could open up other stuff here. Okay, so I really like Atom. So any of these will work. Once you get your assignment here in this format, then you'll be able to upload your assignment to me. Okay, so let me show you what that looks like. So on my end, what I'm going to have, so let me go to my drive. When you submit your assignment, it'll actually send it to my Google Drive. So if you don't know what Google Drive is basically a free storage place. It allows me to keep track of everything. So all of my classroom is in here, and all of my periods are here. So you guys don't have anything in here yet. So there's nothing here yet. But when you guys start submitting your assignments, they'll start popping up. In my old one, here's the computer science. So each time I create an assignment, it creates a new folder, and it only puts those assignments in here. So for example, I can see all the files that people did. You see some people have different types. Okay, I'm looking for the .py on all of mine. Okay. All right. So anyways, and what's cool about this is I don't actually have to run the code. I can just open it up right here. If I want to, I can actually say, oh, open this up with Python editor, and it'll actually allow me to run the code without having to copy it and paste it or any of that stuff. So it's kind of cool. Never I haven't done this with this one, but there it is. So then I can run it and see if it works. And there's an error. So this is a kind of a quick way for me to debug your code and then figure out where you went wrong. Okay. All right, so well, that's it. Hopefully that makes sense, and hopefully now you guys can get started on your assignments. And if you have any questions, email me. And for this class, I want you to use alantho@gmail.com. Okay, just until we get our new Google accounts, August whatever, when we come back to school, I'm going to be using my Gmail, my personal Gmail, to answer questions you have. If you email my school email, it'll probably get to me, but it will be very rare that I check that over the summer. All right, talk to you later.